Good evening. This is CTV News for July 9th. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us this evening. Well, topping our news tonight, President Trump is expected to unveil his Supreme Court pick tonight. He's considering 3 men and 1 woman. They are 51-year-old Raymond Kethledge, 53-year-old Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, who is 46, and Thomas Hardiman, who is 53. The president's decision will cement a majority on the court for conservatives who could quite possibly dominate for generations. Political analyst Dr. Alvin Thornton also says the decision would impact a number of issues related to African Americans and people of color.
This court appointment, which will be a 6-3 majority, I think will fundamentally undermine the ability of the court to apply the 14th Amendment to expand democracy for working people, for immigrant people, voting rights for black people, rights for criminally charged people, and especially in the area of privacy and abortion rights. So it's very, very important.
We also asked Dr. Thornton about the local political races that were too close to call and were decided with provisional ballots. Now that everything has been counted, Thornton commented on what the winners will have to do to unite their communities.
Well, they have to realize that, at least as far as their races are concerned, that the people are split in terms of what their mandate is, et cetera. They should be very respectful of that, listen to the people, understand that their governing style should be one of responses to the people, those who voted for them and those who voted against them. But most importantly, for our state Senate leadership, as well as our congressional leadership, we must get the electorate more involved. Most people didn't elect anybody, overwhelmingly. That is a fundamental threat to our democracy, and particularly people who still have aspirations that they need realized, people like us, black people, who still have economic and educational and cultural issues that they're trying to achieve. If the electorate is not involved, that's simply not going to happen.
In terms of the Supreme Court pick, this is President Trump's second pick. In 2017, he nominated current Justice Neil Gorsuch to the High Court. As far as the outcome of some of those tight races that we've been telling you about, for the District 7 Prince George's County Council seat, Rodney Streeter beat Crystal O'Rider with only 31 votes separating them. In District 1 Council race, Tom Dernoga takes it over Craig Moe, and Mary Lehman will be heading to Annapolis as a delegate. She won with 4,722 votes over Matt Dernoga's 4,391 votes. In more political news, Mark Ehrlich wins the Democratic primary. He's now one step closer to being the top leader in Montgomery County. The council member won by 80 votes over businessman David Blair to take the Democratic nomination for county executive. The final vote has to be finalized, or was finalized, over the weekend. No word yet if Blair will request a recount.
Well, in other news, it appears that as the controversy is over immigration continues, and it seems as though a court-ordered deadline to reunite many young children who were separated from their parents at the border may not be met. The American Civil Liberties Union says the administration provided a list of 102 children under 5, but less than half will reunite by Tuesday's deadline. The Justice Department asked for more time last week, but a blanket extension was denied. U.S. District Judge Dana Sabrau says that he would only consider certain exceptions. Sabrau would also set a had also set a July 26 deadline for older children to be reunited with their parents. The father of a teenager killed last month becomes emotional as he calls on the community for help. Jose Alvarado says his son, 17-year-old Brian Alvarado Esquivel, was a good kid. You may recall that the teen was fatally shot near a playground in Bladensburg back in June. The suspect, who is still on the loose, stole the victim's watch and Gucci belt.
Was wearing a pair of all blue, looks like Nike Jordan shoes that we also released today. If you know anyone with this information, please give us a call.
My son is, nice student. I miss my son,
A $25,000 reward is being offered in the case anyone with information is asked to contact police at 1-866-411-TIPS.